All right, everybody. Welcome to your Monday, April 27th, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Donald Trump has just posted a little bit ago, 2:56. The radical left Democrats have kept DHS shut down since February 14th. That's two sevens, by the way, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So our great speaker, Mike Johnson, is working hard to end the Democrat shutdown and pass the first step of a plan to get full funding for our incredible ICE and Border Patrol agents. We need all Republicans to join together and support this budget blueprint, which will allow us to bypass Democrat obstruction in the Senate and fund immigration enforcement with only Republican votes. The Senate passed this blueprint last week on Thursday morning, and now House Republicans must unify. Key word, unify. This is all about unity. The whole shooting attempt the other day at the press conference launched the unity, the uniting part of this whole campaign, and passed the same blueprint to get the bill done. I've asked for the final bill on my desk by June 1st. That's a 6 and a 1. If you turn that around, that's a 16. That's an 88. Biblically speaking, 16 is love. 1 plus 6 is 7. It's the love of God through Jesus Christ. And we can make that deadline if we keep to the plan fast and focused. Let's take care of let's take care of our great agents of law enforcement. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. And the things that stuck out to me right away was fast and focused. Fast and focused right here is what stuck out to me. And I'll just cover that here now in this. Here's what stood out to me in the spirit. Fast and focused. FF. F is the sixth letter in the alphabet. And so this is a 66 or 2 sixes or 26, which is 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 is a new beginning, new order, new government. 2 sixes can represent Jesus Christ as the perfect man, and the other 6 as the perfect man, 6, and sacrifice redeeming mankind. And the second 6 is that, mankind. Okay, the 2 sixes together is 12. That's 1 plus 2 is 3. That's the Trinity, and of course the 12. So basically, this is Yahweh restoring unity. See Hosea chapter 1, and giving them, us, mankind, a new government, restoring order to humanity like godly order of spirit governing over soul and body. Galatians 5:16 and 2 Corinthians 5:7. It's irrefutable, undeniable evidence of God's divine intervention in the affairs of mankind. In the Bible, the number 12 symbolizes divine authority, perfect government, and completeness. It most notably represents the 12 tribes united again. Remember, they were split into the 2 southern tribes, which are there today, to Judah and the Levites, Levi, and then the 10 northern tribes. Well, this is all about unity. The launch to unite, to be united, kicked off at that attempted shooting there at the press conference. That's just what I got in the spirit, guys. I'm just telling you what I saw, what I heard in the spirit. The band, in completeness, it most notably represents the 12 tribes united again. The band put back together of Israel and the 12 apostles, signifying the foundation and totality of God's people. Now that's the definition of biblical definition of number 12. In a nutshell, you can look it up. Look up biblical meaning of number 12. I like to use BibleStudy.org, and you can plow into that. There's a lot more to it. The number 26 is primarily significant for being the gematria, numerical value of Yahweh. That's the name of God, the sacred Hebrew name of God. This is calculated by adding the values of the letters Yod, He, Vav, He. Okay, and if we go back up here, how did I get to the 26? Well, because it's 2 F's, FF. There's a 6th letter in the alphabet, and it's a 6-6, or it's 2 sixes, or if you close the gap there and say 2 sixes, it's 26. So this is God. This is God working. And guys, this is not my mathematic formulations. This is simply what God has brought me into and showed me over the years. The number 26, primarily significant for being the gematria numerical value of Yahweh, which is the sacred name, Hebrew name of God. This is calculated by adding the values together, Yud-He, Vav-He, or Yod-He, Vav-He. Beyond this, it is often interpreted as representing divine presence. Because it totals the name of God, it symbolizes God's revealed presence and covenantal faithfulness, completeness. It is sometimes associated with the fulfillment of divine purposes or plans, generational order. There are traditionally 26 generations listed from Adam to Moses. In biblical numerology, 66 is often associated with the entirety of the Bible, as it consists of 66 books. It also frequently relates to concepts of human imperfection or opposition to the divine, as the number 6 is traditionally linked to man, who was created on the 6th day. In the Bible, the number 8 symbolizes new beginning, new order, and a new government. And again, this is just the biblical decode of the numerical breakdown here of what stood out to me in Donald Trump's post. The number 3 represents divine completeness, perfection, and wholeness in biblical tradition. It frequently signifies the Trinity, resurrection, and key events occurring within a 3-day time frame. And not including today, there are 3 days left in this month, the month of April 2026. The simple English ordinal gematria value for the phrase fast and focused is 138. So, you know, I see in the 138, right? I see us as being the 1, 3 being the Trinity of God. Add those together, that's the 4. That's us with the Trinity. And then that's the number 8 representing a new beginning, new order, or a new government. And 1 plus 3 is 4. And that number 4 in the Bible represents signs, seasons, and divine appointed times. Here's the breakdown. Fast. The word fast is 6 plus 1 plus 19 plus 20, which equals 46. Coincidentally, all of this adds up to be 10s. Everything is a 10 right now. We're in the year 2026. When you add 6 plus 2 plus 2, it's 10. And that the word fast equals 46, and 4 plus 6 is 10. Or it can be divided into 2 5s. Just close the gap. It's a 25. And the word and, fast and focused, the word and is 1 plus 14 plus 4, which equals 19, which 19 is the Hebrew equivalent letter to the 17th English letter of Q or Qaf, which equals 10, or 2 5s, or there again a 25. Focused. 6 plus 15 plus 3 plus 21 plus 19 plus 5 plus 4 is 73. That's a 73, and which is also a 10. And that's there again. That's a 2 5, 25, and the 25 is 2 plus 5 is 7. God told me in April 17th, 2023. I'll never forget it. I remember it's burned in my mind vividly. 4 plus 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 2 next to the 2 and the 3 in the year 2023. If you drop the 0, you put the 2 and put the 0 in place of the next 2, drop the 0 and slide the 2 over to the 2 plus 3, which is 5, you get another 25. Again, 2 plus 5 is 7. He was now going to turn, God told me, 4/17/2023, he was now going to turn around everything in the 25s. Again, 2026, add it together, that's 10, divided by 2, whatever, that's 25. In the biblical symbolism, 10 represents completeness, divine order, and responsibility. It signifies a full cycle of testing. Anybody feel like they're being tested? It signifies a full cycle of testing, government or law, as seen in the 10 Commandments and the 10 plagues of Egypt. In biblical numerology, 25 represents divine grace and the and the fullness of God's promises, it is often associated with the completion of a cycle and the beginning of a new period of inheritance, as seen in the number of years between key milestones in biblical narratives. God told me he's turning everything around into 25s. There are 25s everywhere. Now, 2 plus 5 is 7, which basically is Jesus Christ. The number 7 is, there are 7 I ams when you read this breakdown down here in what I added. And I just put thank you, Jesus Christ, and then, all those titles there. So in the Bible, the number 7 symbolizes divine completion and perfection originating from God's 7-day creation cycle. This concept profoundly relates to Jesus Christ, representing the fulfillment of his earthly mission and the perfection of his works. Key connections include completion of salvation. Jesus spoke 7 statements from the cross, culminating in, "It is finished," marking the absolute completion of his sacrifice. Rest and redemption. Jesus rested in the tomb on the Sabbath day, the 7th day, mirroring God's rest after creation and signifying the completion of the work of redemption. And what our pastor discovered Sunday and presented was how Jesus, in the tomb there, basically there were angels on both sides of the tomb. And so that represented the new Ark of the Covenant, which is he's the representation of the new covenant. Remember, the Ark of the Covenant, you had that ark, that box to begin with, and then Jesus came and he's the new covenant. And so in the tomb, with the 2 angels standing beside him, was just like the Ark of the Covenant and the mercy seat in the Holy of Holies. This was Jesus' place in the tomb. So Jesus is the new covenant. Teachings and metaphors. Jesus utilized 7 petitions in the Lord's Prayer and gave 7 I am. And that's where I put the 7 I ams right here. 7 I ams. And if you'll remember, Donald Trump posted after he had signed some things, I don't know how many times, but I'll bet maybe 7. We're not betting. We don't bet, right? But I'm guessing maybe 7 times he signed it, I am. Teachings and metaphors. Jesus utilized 7 petitions in the Lord's Prayer and gave 7 I am statements, e.g., bread of life, light of the world, presenting himself as the perfect path to God. And he is. We have to do things. God desires obedience over sacrifice. And so we have to do things the way God says to do them. And then lastly, is the authority and forgiveness. By instructing Peter to forgive 70 times 7 times, Jesus expanded the number's significance from mere completion to infinite divine forgiveness. And so I just wanted to cover that very quickly. This is what stood out to me in Donald Trump's post here. He posted for today, 4/27 at 2:56 p.m. So I'll just conclude it there. Thank you.